It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and today I'm bringing you my second ever craft beer from Argentina. This is a can of original Manush Brewing Company's India Pale Ale IPA, 5.5% ABV, and it's 58 IBUs. IBUs, international bittering units. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the review. Brewed in Maloch, Patagonia. So here we go then. Without further ado, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. I like the look at this. It's got, of course, it's brewed in Argentina, I should say. But it's got themes of India all over the can, which is great, isn't it? India Pale Ale, India. Bit of a homage to India there. So, beer in the glass. Oh, look at this, look at this. I love this. It looks like West Coast. This is a definite kind of West Coast IPA. Of course, with that kind of, you don't really see the promotion anymore of IBUs. We used to have what they were called the IBU wars years ago, where brewers used to make their beers as bitter as possible. And I used to love those beers. I used to really love those big IBUs in the beers. Now, again, we'll talk about that later on in the review, but this looks like a classic West Coast IPA from, I don't know, 2011, 2012. I'm like a Cheshire cat here, grinning from ear to ear. 2-finger white head, lovely dark amber coloured beer with good levels of carbonation. And the reason why I got this from Argentina, what's the matter with me? The door knocked on Friday. Thomas and Virginia knocked my door. They live in the South Wales Valleys, but they're travelling back and forth to Argentina as Thomas teaches Welsh to Argentinian people. So whilst he was there, he found the channel, he's been watching my beer reviews, and he decided to bring me back some beer from Argentina. So absolutely fantastic gesture to Thomas and Virginia, and really it's what makes this channel really interesting, and it's what makes this channel survive, really, in that I've always wanted to drink beer from around the world. I never just wanted it to be UK focused. I wanted it to be America, Canada, Argentina, Holland, Belgium, France, Spain, Germany. I wanted to review beer from all over the world. And I realised that, and I recognised that a channel really couldn't survive if it was just UK beer. So thank you for the gesture, Thomas and Virginia. Let's get into this then. Oh, this smells fantastic. It's got this like tutti fruity orange twist. A little bit of sweetness in there from the malt that they've used. But at the same time, there's that kind of 58 IBU lurking around in the background. It smells super smashable, super drinkable, balanced as well. I'm getting a lot of the sweetness in the aroma, but I bet in the taste it's going to be quite bitter. Let's find out. Cheers, everybody. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows, what a beer. And there it is. You could taste the flavours of the beer instantly that were going to promote that bitterness. And it was a case of just waiting, because the beer it's quite sweet. There is quite a level of sweetness in this beer, and what you're doing is you're kind of working your way through the sweetness, you're working your way through the malt, and you're waiting for that malt to dissipate a little bit on the flavour, and then whack, up comes the bitterness in the beer, that 58 IBU. There's a lovely bitterness on the back end, but it's beautifully balanced beer. Sweetness, bitterness, great drinkability. Great drinkability on the beer. But I can just feel the bitterness here on the back of the throat. I wish more brewers brewed these higher IBU beers. I used to be a massive fan of these higher IBU beers. I found them really interesting, reviewing them, drinking them. I just found that it was more to my style, more to my kind of liking. I like that kind of little bit of an aggressiveness on the back of the throat. I like that kind of, that like raw bitterness hitting the back of the throat. I think if I get approached by a brewery this year to brew, we do some collaborations every now and again. If I get approached to do some IPA or whatnot, then I'm gonna promote. I'm gonna say let's go back old school. Let's kick off the IBU wars. Let's make a 60, 70 IBU beer, because I just find them fantastic. Pardon me. I find them fantastic. They're my style of beer. The sweetness, then the bitterness, the flavour, the fun. I like the fun aspect of it. The flavours are fantastic. Orange peel, grapefruit, fleshy blood orange, spicy pepperiness on the back end. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous stuff. So, I promised to talk about IBUs. What are IBUs? So, look at this. Wow, look at this. Look at that. Doesn't that look great? So, IBUs, International Bittering Units. You can have a beer at 0 IBU and you won't get any bitterness whatsoever. How brewery professionals they put it on a scale of 0 to 100. So 100 IBUs is the maximum your palate can theoretically take. It's the most bitter beer that your palate can take. 100 IBUs. It's the bitterest of beers. So you're able then to, like this beer being 58 IBUs, you know that's kind of just off middle. You know that's heading towards the 100 IBU. You know that there's going to be a fair amount of bitterness in that beer. And that's the kind of basic way of explaining. I'm sure there's brewery professionals who can kind of talk a little bit more about that. But that's my plain English way of explaining international bittering units. You can also get it from malt as well. Roasted malt will offer some IBUs, that bitterness coming through. But yeah, what a beer! What a beer! Manush, what do we know about this brewery? Thomas did tell me on Friday. I think they're a brewery that are growing. They're a brewery that are kind of like, they found their feet. They're producing great craft beer in cans, and yeah, if you're able to try it, please try it. It's all in Spanish. The hops are Talus, Idaho, Mosaic and Cascade. Brilliant. Check it out if you can. I'm going to rate it. It looks fantastic. Look at that. Look at the lacing on the glass. Look at that head retention. Look at the way the beer performs as you roll it around in the glass. That's like a Ferrari in a glass, isn't it? Great looking beer. Lovely aroma. Great taste. I really, really like that beer. I'm going to emphasise the fact I like it enough to give it. I think it's fantastic. It's a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 beer from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.